First up, though, the latest on the investigation into the Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh that killed 28 people on Saturday. The forensic report that has just come in reveals about 27 to 30 kilograms of ammonium nitrate was used as explosives. Command wire was used to trigger the explosives, which created a 5-meter deep crater and blew up vehicles into mangled metals. Investigations have also revealed that a group of Maoists, not more than 40 to 50, camped in that area for about 5 days while they did their recce's. The operation was carried out by two groups, the Andhra Pradesh and Orissa Zonal Committee groups. A small contingent of Maoists from Chhattisgarh were also there, but in the outer ring. After carrying out the attack, they divided themselves into two groups and moved into Orissa. One of the groups was spotted in Gupteshwar in the Koraput district. The Orissa police has launched its special operations groups to find the Maoists, but the terrain is extremely hostile and virtually inaccessible, so they haven't had much success so far. My colleague Sudhiranjan Sen now joins me on the phone line from Jagdalpur, the location of the attack last Saturday. Sudhiranjan, some extremely serious details coming out. They're saying that nearly 30 kilograms of ammonium nitrate were used to set off that explosion. We did report initially that there was first a landmine blast that attacked the convoy, after which the Maoists opened fire from a position of height over the convoy.
Well, yes, Maya, I mean, what it basically reveals, and this is what we understand that investigators are also looking into, the very fact that they had used command wires means that they would have had spotters, because it's more or less a manually triggered mechanism. Spotters who would have been, looking out for the convoy coming, they would have signaled, and, to the person who was handling the command wire. That is one part of it. The other part of it is that they had been there for some time, and we understand what the investigators are, getting is that they had gone into the local market. Obviously, they had camped there, they would go into the local market to fetch provisions. Now, the question is, if they were there for some time, how did not the local police, the intelligence, central and state intelligence, not, pick up these signs? Because these are definitely, as investigators are saying, they are from the Andhra Zonal Border Committee, and there was a group of Chhattisgarh Maoists as well. So obviously there were people from outside, could have been identified perhaps, and that also explains why they were unable to identify Mahendra Karma and Nand-Kumar Patel in the beginning.
That's a very interesting detail. The fact that the Maoists who attacked this convoy in Jagdalpur were actually not locals, and therefore even though Mahendra Karma, the founder of the Salva Judum, was the target of this attack, they were not able to identify him right off.
Yes, I mean, some more details which we understand has been picked up by the investigators is that even after, when Mahendra Karma had surrendered, the attackers tried to ascertain his identity by checking with the others, whether or not the man who's given himself up is Mahendra Karma. This is what we are getting to here. So all these questions now, slowly coming out. Of course, many transfers have been effected by the Chhattisgarh government of the local administration. But just transferring officers perhaps will not help. You need to strengthen your local intelligence because these are indications that should have been picked up, in the first place. Maya.
Right, Sudhiranjan Sen, thanks so much for joining us with those details as you track the investigations into the Maoist attack that killed Chhattisgarh State Congress leadership last Saturday.